Welcome back to Curell Case Files, where every story leaves you questioning just how much we really know about the world around us. Tonight, we unravel a case that's haunted a small town for decades. A disappearance that happened live, on air, inside a locked room, without a single witness and with one chilling recording left behind. This is the unsolved mystery of the final broadcast of Clara Steele. Bellingham, Washington. Population just over 50,000 in the early 2000s. A coastal town where forests meet the sea and where late-night radio was more than background noise. It was a lifeline. At 2 a.m., most of Bellingham slept. But tucked in a small booth at KBRC 104.7, Clara Steele kept the lonely company of night drivers, insomniacs, and third-shift workers with her soft voice and carefully curated playlists. Her show, Midnight Drift, was known for haunting melodies, local folklore discussions, and open lines for anyone who needed someone to talk to. But on March 18, 2002, Clara didn't just sign off, she vanished. The night started like any other. Listeners recalled Clara sounding calm and her usual self. She played a mix of classic rock ballads and low-tempo jazz, peppered between listener calls discussing strange lights seen over the Puget Sound that week. At 2:52 a.m., Clara took her final call, an anonymous man with a whispery voice who spoke about shadows moving faster than headlights. The call ended abruptly, mid-sentence. Clara transitioned into her final track of the night, Into the Mystic by Van Morrison, a staple of her closing hour. At 3 a.m. sharp, she signed off. "Stay safe, night travelers. See you on the other side." It would be the last time anyone heard her voice. At 5:30 a.m., Rick Farrow, the morning DJ, arrived for his shift. The building was quiet, too quiet. Normally, Clara would leave a sticky note on the console, but today, nothing, only the low hum of dead air buzzing through the monitors. Rick knocked on the booth door, locked from the inside. He called out, no response. Eventually, the station manager was contacted. Using a master key, they opened the door and found the booth completely empty. Clara's headphones sat neatly coiled on the desk. Her personal bag was under the counter, untouched. Her car keys and wallet were on the chair. Her car was still in the parking lot. But Clara herself? Gone. In the chaos of trying to understand what happened, the station's technical manager reviewed the recording logs. The system automatically recorded every second of live broadcasting. What they found chilled everyone who heard it. After Clara signed off, there should have been an automated playlist until the station went live again at 5:30. Instead, there was a gap, 10 minutes of static. Then, faintly at first, scratching sounds, a soft, rhythmic tapping. And then, Clara's voice, barely above a whisper, but unmistakably hers. They're already inside. A long pause, heavy breathing, a sound like something dragging across the floor. And then, nothing. The recording cuts to dead silence for the next 2 hours. Detective Samuel Grover of the Bellingham PD led the investigation. He treated the booth like a crime scene, because it was. But there was no sign of forced entry, no scuff marks, no disturbed furniture, no fingerprints that shouldn't have been there. The door, made of thick soundproof glass and heavy wood, could only be locked or unlocked from the inside or with a master key. Security footage from the main hall showed no one entering or leaving after Clara's shift started. Not a single frame of footage showed Clara exiting. It was as if she had evaporated. Naturally, suspicion turned to that final anonymous caller. Phone records traced the call to a payphone near the waterfront, an isolated dockyard, mostly deserted at night. When investigators checked the area, they found the payphone ripped off the wall, destroyed. No usable prints, no witnesses, no security footage. And that wasn't the only strange detail. Multiple listeners reported hearing other voices in the background during Clara's final minutes on air. Low, guttural murmurs that weren't consistent with regular call quality. Audio experts analyzed the recording, but couldn't conclusively determine if it was interference, feedback, or something else. As news spread, theories blossomed. Theory 1, a stalker. Clara had mentioned feeling watched to a close friend days before her disappearance. Some believe a stalker somehow infiltrated the station, despite no evidence of entry. Theory 2, paranormal encounter. Fans of the strange noted the coincidental timing, reports of unusual lights over Puget Sound that same week. Some insisted Clara's disappearance was linked to alien abduction. or dimensional rift phenomena. Theory 3. Psychological breakdown. A few believed Clara staged her own disappearance, citing stress and possible mental decline. Yet no evidence suggested she planned to leave. She'd made lunch plans the next day. Her bank accounts remained untouched. Theory 4. An inside job. Could someone at the station have been involved? But again, no one saw anything, and no one had a plausible motive. Weeks turned into months. Reward money was offered. Private investigators hired. The FBI briefly consulted, but found no interstate evidence to pursue. Clara's family held a memorial service 1 year later, despite her body never being found. The station eventually changed its name, new management, new call letters, but the booth where Clara Steele vanished was sealed. New employees refused to use it. Rumors of voices heard late at night, static whispering from the empty room, persist to this day. In 2015, a strange development reignited interest. A listener cleaning out old storage bins found a cassette tape labeled simply Drift. Inside was a recording, what sounded like Clara, reading poetry about crossing unseen thresholds and standing among them. Experts dated the tape to the early 2000s, but couldn't verify if it was recorded before or after her disappearance. No new leads came from it, but it added another chilling layer. If it was recorded after March 18, 2002, where was Clara Steele when she made it? Clara Steele's final broadcast ended not with a goodbye, but with a whisper, "They're already inside." And since that night, no trace of her has ever been found. In a world dominated by surveillance, data, and footprints, sometimes a person can still vanish like smoke, leaving behind only questions. This was Curell Case Files. If you have a theory, or if you've ever heard something strange in the static, tell us in the comments. We want to hear your voice too.